Greetings, everyone. This is Merrick Rosenberg, and I am excited to share with you the Taking Flight profile. This is a major upgrade to the Taking Flight with Disc report that many of you have been using. And if you're watching this, it is time to switch over to the Taking Flight profile. In fact, the old Taking Flight with Disc assessment is going away on July 1st, 2024. If you have purchased them, you still can use them, but I want to walk you through and show you what's in the new report and also show you how to use it in the classroom, because there's a lot more in this report that you may not even realize is here. There are 12 new pages of content with a lot of personalized information, way more personalized information than, quite frankly, exists in almost any DISC report I've ever seen. So this gives the individual a lot more data about themselves, not just information about the styles. So let me show you the new and improved look and feel. Has a way better flow than we had before. We used the assessment with hundreds of thousands of people over the years and realized, I wish we had more information here. I wish we explained this in more detail. I think we had this in the report at this section, but it should come earlier. We fixed all of that. It is really nice and smooth. Let's walk you through. I'll show you how it works. So we've got our new Taking Flight profile. Right from the start, you've got quick overview, gives you the outline of what's contained inside. As you begin, you can see a word cloud. This gives you words for each of the styles. If you're asking participants in a training program, you can notice the parrot, you can notice the dove, you notice the owl. If you're asking participants in a training program to give you words to describe each style, here they are, a lot of them. So it helps you to give them a better insight around the styles. Right off the bat at the beginning, you can see the tendencies of the styles, the desired environment, how they can be more effective, and their stress response. So a lot more information about each style. If you remember in the original assessment, this was just one page that had all of this. Now you've got 4 pages of data, not just one. We have a characteristics of each style page significantly improved. We put a lot more information in there. We tightened it up, reworded a lot of it. I think we've had learning over the years, and it's better. So there's more information in there. On the next page on the right, you will see the shared style characteristics. In the session, you may be drawing a plus sign on a flip chart. And if you're capturing the words for each style, if you're pulling them from the participants, maybe you're using the PowerPoint to do this. But what you will find is that we just, on the top, it just says fast-paced verbal. On the bottom, even-paced reserved. On the right side, people-oriented. On the left side, task-oriented. Here's more adjectives that describe the combo styles. So eagles and parrots, outgoing, fast-paced, assertive, bold, big picture. You can see each of the style combos has a better description. So right off the bat, we're acknowledging you're not just one style, you're a combination of all 4. So much better description of what graph 1 is, what graph 2 is, and what graph 3 is. So these pages here contain the insight that we would share as we are explaining the graphs. So if you're handing someone this report, this will help them better understand what their graphs mean. Way better info, much more or better explanation of what these graphs include. Now, here, just like before, you've got your 3 graphs, you've got your style, you've got your content. This is now on page 16 instead of on page 9. So if there's one thing you need to change in a PowerPoint, when you tell them to open up their report to read their narrative description instead of page 9, it's page 16. It's the only thing you would need to change in your PowerPoint. These pages are spread out, and we added a lot more information. So you can see the general characteristics, the strengths, and the potential development areas all in one snapshot glance. These potential development areas were in a page in the middle of the report, towards the end of the report. Last time, it just wasn't in a good spot. It's right up front. Work tendencies, how they can be more effective. It's just laid out cleaner. You can be using this in the session. Have them get a partner and partner up with someone and say, all right, here's my strengths. What are your strengths? Here are my potential development areas. I may need to work on these things. What about you? What are yours? You can do a little activity where you introduce your partner. If I'm introducing my partner, Catherine, and Catherine's sitting next to me, I might turn to her and say, all right, what are your strengths? Here's mine. And maybe I do a little presentation and say, so Catherine's strengths are the following. And then she would present mine. You can bring these pages to life because there's a lot more information here. What are the needs? What are the motivators? Once again, if you're not using the report, you're handing them a report for just a graph. Dig into it. There's a lot of info here. Have them get a partner and talk about, here's my needs. What are your needs? Here's what motivates me. What motivates you? On the right, leadership. This page didn't exist in the previous report. Now we have a page on what does leadership look like at its best, and under stress, what does leadership look like for you when maybe you're overusing your strengths or not in a good space. If you're running a session with leaders, this is a great page you should be using to talk about their leadership style. Managing stress, managing conflict, broken out. They each have their own page. You can, when you get to the managing stress section and you're talking about how the 4 styles manage stress, have them turn to page 21. When you're talking about conflict, have them turn to page 22. Integrate the report into your training program. When you're talking about communication, have them talk about page 23. By the way, this page didn't exist in the original profile. There's more information on how each person communicates. Build this into the session. When you're talking about the do's and the don'ts of how to talk to this individual, have them get a partner. This is another great activity to report out. My partner, here's what they like. Here's what they don't like. It's broken out, not just generically in the participant guide, which just says Eagles tend to like this, do this, don't do that. This is specifically for the individual. Use it. It's here for you. Here are 4 pages broken out. I love how these look. It's nice and clean. It's how do you communicate to an eagle in their relationships, in social settings, and at work. How can you help them? And so once again, you can integrate this into the session and create conversations around how do you use the styles, not just let's learn about them, but how do we apply them? So we've got information for the eagles, parrots, doves, and owls. Next up, dealing with others. How can you connect and communicate with each of the 4 styles? This is a great conversation. Have each person take a highlighter, take their pen, circle the bullets that resonate with them. I happen to be a parrot secondary eagle. I could read the parrot ones. I'm probably going to circle a lot of those. I'd read the eagle ones. I might circle a bunch of them. May not circle very many owl and dove. They're not as strong for me, but there could be a few there. Then get a partner. Talk about how you would like people to connect with you and communicate to you. Bring the individual's report to life. Style tips. Also, what do we need to accept about others? This leads to great conversations. We've added more information here. We've updated this information. Potential difficulties. What might eagles find it difficult to do? And how do we overuse our strengths? Once again, these lead to great conversations. You can integrate these pages right into the program itself. Now, this page, love this page. This was a moment of insight that I had. So let's go back here. This was a moment of insight that I had, which was, we know their style. If I were asking an eagle, if I were a coach asking an eagle to work on improve themselves based on their style, I would ask an eagle different questions than I would ask a dove. I might talk to an eagle about how do you communicate respectfully during stressful times and make sure they're not becoming overly blunt or insensitive. To a dove, I might talk about how do you make sure that you stand in your power and you say no when you can't do things. People are still going to like you. It's okay. You can say no. The questions we ask are selected specifically for the individual. 6 action planning questions for the person. If you're not using this profile, you're missing out on dynamic action planning. And when you use this profile, do not skip this section. We have been using this for a year and a half, and people love this. They're sitting next to somebody, have them work on their own action plan, and then turn to a partner and say, all right, here's the things I'm going to work on. There's something powerful about sharing your action plan with others. You can even go around the room and have each person share one thing that they commit to working on. Sharing it out loud helps us to solidify that commitment to make it a reality. You have 6 here. Sometimes I don't do all 6. I say, I want you to pick the 3 that are really important to you, or 4 that are really important to you. I also have been using what I've been calling the accountability partner or an accountability buddy. Have them get a partner that after this session, they're going to once a week for 4 weeks. They have to talk to their accountability partner. And let's say they work on 4 of these items. In week 1, just a 10-minute conversation about what you've done to work on your first action planning item that was selected for you. In week 2, we're going to address the second question, then the third, then the fourth. So the power of what we're looking at here is this personalizes the content for them. No other DISC or style-based report has dynamic action planning. This takes the report to a whole new level because it personalizes the actions that they take from the learning that you are helping to instill in them. Finally, one last page. Here's some actions that everybody really should put some energy into. So you can talk about these. Understanding your style. How do you recognize the style of others? How can you think about style when establishing expectations of others? How do you consider intention, not just behavior, and so on? So what we're talking about here is we have a new version of the report. It has so much more information than the previous version. Use it, integrate it into the training program. It will take your program to another level by helping to take them to another level. So once again, as always, I deeply appreciate you sharing the styles with the world. And I hope you enjoy using the Taking Flight profile. If you have questions, if you have anything at all you'd like to know, reach out to us. We are here for you. We want you to be successful, and we want you to help the people that you are impacting. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great